Pfeiffer.
And I'm Monty Torres. A ballot box and 1,000 blank ballots stolen from the home of a poll worker. Could it have made a difference? Supporters of gay marriage claim a victory in the Senate. We'll have a live discussion on this controversial issue.
Today, lawmakers rejected legislation that would have banned same-sex marriage. But conservative Republicans think they might be able to get the necessary two-thirds majority in the next couple of years. Monty Torres is on the set with a live roundtable discussion on this controversial issue.
JD, today's Senate vote was 49-48 for. Now, 67 votes is what it would have taken to begin the process of amending the Constitution to declare marriage as strictly between a man and a woman. A last-minute push by President Bush failed to make up the difference, but supporters say they'll be back. They will try again. Joining me now is Mr. Fred Vanderhoof. He is the vice chairman for the Fresno County Republican Party. Also with me is Mr. Chris Jarvis. He's an online columnist for Gay Fresno. Do you think they really will bring this up again? Should they? Chris, I take it you'd say no.
No, I think they'll bring it up again, definitely. I didn't think they'd bring it up again after the last failure, but I think they will probably do it again. It all depends on who's in power at the time, but I see it coming back.
And do you think they should?
No, I don't think they should. I think that, at this stage of the game in 2006 in America, that, we should all be able to marry who we want to marry. And I think one thing the gay community never really understands is what the threat is that they keep talking about to traditional marriage.
Mr. Vanderhoof, can you respond to that?
This is really about the family, about our kids. What is our most important natural resource? It's our children. I've got 5 kids of my own, and I'm a public school teacher. And what is the structure for raising kids? What's the training ground? And it's marriage between a man and a woman. And the Republican Party understands this, and President Bush understands this. He has 2 daughters, and so this is extremely important. Chief Justice Earl Warren, former Supreme Court Justice, said marriage is fundamental to our very existence and survival. So it's an extremely important issue. And I think the American people understand that. Average of 71%, 19 states, soon to be 27 states, have agreed.
Well, Kansas Senator Sam Brownback today reportedly said that 45 of 50 states have already passed state laws defining marriages between a man and a woman. So there's every reason to believe that it will gain some traction both in the Senate. And apparently, if that is true, and those statistics are true, there are a lot of people out there who do think that there's a threat to traditional marriage. Was that, Mr. Vanderhoof laid out?
Well, I think they do. People definitely think there's a threat, but again, the threat is often defined as the marriage is the structure for a family for raising children, but there are a lot of gay couples that have children now and are raising children, and it hasn't proven to be detrimental to the children at all. The real thing is that it doesn't threaten traditional marriage. We're not trying to take anything away from traditional marriage. We're just trying to get the same equal civil rights in America.
Mr. Vanderhoof?
It definitely threatens traditional marriage. There's no question, and that's why 71% of the people in all these states agree that it is a threat.
I think the reason 71% of the people agree is because the gay people have been prejudiced against for a very long time, and it's going to take a while to get it out of the system.
I disagree. I don't think gay people have been prejudiced against at all. I think, and there was a study in another country that indicates that gay marriage is not helpful for children, and I think that the best foundation for society, and not only now but down through history, the Roman civilization, Greek civilization, the best foundation is marriage between a man and woman. And we recognize that in this country ever since the Constitution.
That doesn't mean at some point we can't evolve in this country and learn to accept other people on the same terms. It doesn't mean that just because something has been held as tradition for a very long time that we have to never let anybody else into it.
Right.
We really are not trying to threaten traditional marriage in any way. We're not. When you say it threatens traditional marriage, what you're trying to say is that something's going to happen to traditional marriage, and it's not. You'll still be able to get married, you'll still be able to have children, and so will we.
I disagree. This comes to what President Bush said. Activist judges are redefining traditional marriage, and so there is a threat. And it's the people have voted, like Prop 22 in California, 60-some% agree that it should be between a man and a woman. But then we have activist judges and certain legislators, state legislators. Well, the mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom, who say that no, it should be redefined. And so the people do one thing, but then just a few handpicked judges say something
like calling them activist judges simply because they're looking at the Constitution and deciding that it might be unconstitutional to not allow gay people to marry does not make them activist judges. It just makes them make groundbreaking decisions at this point in our history.
Well, there are some also critics of this who would wonder on the timing of the issue. They think that there might be political reasons for it, and you probably heard both the arguments on this, that it has something to do with perhaps with the president's low poll numbers, or does it have something to do with building a conservative base before the November elections? What do you say to that?
No, President Bush, as I said, has two daughters of his own. He believes with his whole heart that this is important. He said in the 2004 election that he would do this, and he's kept his promise. He feels that marriage is extremely important, as do Catholics. The Vatican, the Pope, just weighed in on this, and he says it's extremely important. Protestants do, Jews, Hispanics, African Americans, it's across the board.
Chris Jarvis, final 20 seconds.
I think gay people think marriage is just as important as you do, and that's why we're trying to get it.
All right, Chris Jarvis, Fred Vanderhoof, thank you for joining us. Jadine, back to you.
All right, Monty, nice job.